Hey everybody, happy Thursday night. I'm Anjanette Levy and welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor on your way in, hit that thumbs up button. It helps the video in the YouTube universe. And please tell me in the chat where you're watching from. I love watching and looking through all the chat commenters and comments and seeing where everybody's from. And it's amazing how many people we get from other countries and all over the country. I really appreciate it. And also, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe. That would be great. I'd love to have you as a subscriber and then smash that bell. I want to shout out all the mods who are here tonight helping me out. Webby, Mo, Monty. I don't know if Mel Mac's here. I can't remember if I saw her in the chat. But all of the mods who are here, yes, Mel is here. Hi, Mel. And everybody who is here, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. So I really want to, we got some San Francisco people I see, and North Carolina and St. Louis, Missouri. So welcome everybody. I have a lot to tell you about. I'm sorry I haven't been on here since I traveled to CrimeCon. I meant to get on here at CrimeCon, but let me tell you, once I got there, it was work, and then work some more. So, I mean, we did have a little bit of fun. We had dinner and stuff like that, but it just got really busy and crazy busy. And I just didn't get on here. I couldn't even get on my phone to go live from CrimeCon. So I was kind of bummed out. So I do apologize about that, but hey, maybe next time, right? So forgive me because I had hoped to do that, but I'm going to tell you all about CrimeCon. Hopefully Saturday night I'll be going live if everybody's interested in hearing about it. I also took a lot of videos and pictures, and I'm thinking about putting a standalone video together to tell you all about that. As I come on here tonight, excuse me, as I come on here tonight, I do want to acknowledge that it is September 11th. So we should acknowledge that and never forget. Also, I don't care what your political persuasion is, whether you're on the left or the right. But the whole Charlie Kirk assassination, I've been covering that since it happened, and it's horrific. And I'm really saddened by it. I'm heartbroken by it. I don't think anybody should be killed for speaking their views. That's just not the country we live in, whether you agree with somebody or not. And I'm hoping that people, if they recognize this person, which they should very soon, hopefully, it sounds like they're making progress. I'm going to put this up on the screen so you can see it. Hopefully people are calling the FBI or the Utah Department of Public Safety, really the FBI tip line. That's what they've been putting out because this is what they do. But hopefully somebody recognizes this person and calls in. I don't know if the facial recognition software would work with this. Let's see what just happened here. I don't know what just happened there, but hopefully you guys are seeing this. Something happened with my screen sharing. It wouldn't work. Anyway, I'm hoping that whoever recognizes this person calls the FBI tip line. I'm going to try to share that again, guys. Something went all wonky when I tried to share it. There you go. That's the person. This is the suspected shooter, the person of interest. And the other picture is not switching. So that's who the person is right there. So 1-800-CALL-FBI. You know, I met Charlie Kirk, interviewed him when I worked in local news. I remember I was covering the Republican National Convention back in 2016 in Cleveland when I worked at Local 12 News in Cincinnati. And I was sent to Cleveland to cover the convention, not only for the station, but the other stations within the company. And I remember I got a text message from one of the corporate bosses who said, here, I need you to call this guy, Charlie Kirk. I'm sending you his number right now. He's a young guy. He runs an organization for young people, and we think he's an up and comer. So we'd really like it if you would interview him and include him in your story. I'm like, okay, no problem, right? Met Charlie Kirk out on the street. If we do the math, that was 9 years ago, I guess. That was June of, well, it would have been in July of 2016. So 31 minus 9, he was 22 years old at that time. So he was a really young guy, but he had started Turning Point USA. And I just, I was thinking a lot about that. And I've thought about it before when I've seen him on television and stuff, like, wow, it's so funny that I met this kid, this Charlie Kirk, when I worked back in local news. And I actually have his cell phone number in my phone still, which is just crazy to me. And I, every time I would see him on Twitter or on the news or whatever, talking about politics, I'd be like, it's just crazy to me that this kid I interviewed back in 2016 has blown up and become this big, big activist. He's like famous, and he was so instrumental in the last election and motivating young people. And so I couldn't believe it when I heard that he had been shot yesterday. And I don't care what your politics are, whether you're on the left or the right. This is a human being with a wife and children. And I saw the video. It was horrific. And it's heartbreaking to me. It's something's wrong. Something's going on wrong in this country that this is what people are doing. So there's a lot going on with that case. If you guys want me to talk more about the case, I will. We can do a separate live on it. Please let me know in the chat if you would like me on this channel to cover this case. A lot of people are wondering if there was apparently some anti-fascist, allegedly some like trans stuff engraved onto the shell casings used in this crime, according to the Wall Street Journal. So please drop in the comments whether you would like me to cover this case. There's a manhunt underway. And a lot of people are talking online, like, is this person dressed up like, are they dressing like a guy, but they're really a woman? So we don't really know. We don't know. This could be a young man. It could be a woman who's just good with a rifle, because I interviewed somebody today who told me basically, if you were an experienced hunter, like hunting deer and stuff like that, that you could do what this shooter did, that you could make that shot. So it's really, really devastating to me. I hate that this happened. I don't care what your politics are. Something is wrong in this country. We don't, this is like 1960s stuff. It reminds me of like the assassinations in the 1960s, even though I wasn't born then. But you in the history books and you read about it. This is not what we should be doing in this country. We don't go after people with guns, or at least we're not supposed to in this civilized society. We live in a country with laws. We're not supposed to be living in a lawless society. We do not go after people with guns. That's not how we solve our problems. And I'm sickened by it. So if you guys, I'm going to go through the comments in the chat later. If you want me to cover the case on here, I will. I almost went live last night to talk about it and what I was going to talk about with the selfies, but I was kind of like on call, on standby for work at Law and Crime. So I was going to go live, and then I had to go to work. So, I had to go to work and do something for Crime Fix. So we'll keep an eye on it. So everybody kind of say a prayer for Charlie Kirk's family and friends. I even interviewed, maybe I should share some of that interview with you guys. A man who did the toast at his wedding. His name's Bob McEwen. I ran it on Crime Fix. And he said they feared this could happen. So that was heartbreaking to me. So maybe I'll play that for you. Okay, it looks like people want me to cover the case, so I will. But they feared this. They feared that he could be killed, that he could be shot. He had security, not Secret Service type stuff or anything like that. So I will cover the case. We will do the case. I might split it up between some things because obviously I have a lot to tell you about. Maybe we'll cover a couple of different topics here on the show about this. But I will cover it. Okay, it looks like everybody wants me to cover it. But I'll look through the comments later, and I think it's an important case. We just can't be living in a society where people are doing this. I should probably spit my gum out, guys. Sorry, I've just been enjoying this piece of gum so much. What do you do, right? This piece of gum that I put in my mouth before I came on, just to like kind of get my juices flowing. It tastes so good. I just don't even want to spit it out. Okay, guys, you want me to cover the case? I will cover the case. So let's go. We're going to pivot now to what I put on there for the thumbnail, and that is the selfies. When I first interviewed Jared Barnhart and Heather Barnhart from Celebrate, they told me about the selfies. I think I played that for you, that episode of Crime Fix, or at least a portion of it, where they talked about how he had all of these selfies on his phone and he was flexing and doing all this stuff. And I was like, okay, can we get those selfies? Like, wow, can we have those? Like, can you share those with us? I put in a records request for them. That my records request was denied. It's been kind of a disaster trying to get those selfies. Well, apparently there was an agreement to give them to 2020 first. And so I got the selfies this week. And there are kind of two groups of selfies: before November 13th, before the homicides, and then after November 13th. Why do these matter? What do they tell us? And I think that knowing what we know now, they can tell us quite a bit. But there was also some information that I was provided from his cell phone, and it showed the screen grabs, the caches of the stuff that was on his phone that basically said what he was watching, like on YouTube and stuff like that. The Mad Greek thing, the review of the Mad Greek restaurant that came up on his phone, it was a review simply that was found in the cached materials. Like, it had come up on Google Maps. So it doesn't show that he was ever there or anything like that. So we need to be clear on that. But these selfies kind of tell a story, because I feel like the pre-November 13th selfies kind of show somebody who was trying to start over and start a new life. Whether that included plotting and planning murder, I think it very well could have. But part of me believes that Kohberger thought, I'm going to move out to Washington State. I'm going to become Professor Kohberger. I'm going to set the world on fire, and I'm going to start my new life. And it didn't work out that way. Maybe he thought moving west, he'd be out of his, it's a fresh start. You can start over. suddenly he becomes somebody who isn't putting women off. I mean, I'm trying to think how he might think. So these selfies start on June 25th of 2022. And a lot of them just seem like normal selfies, not a big deal. But then some of them are really ridiculous. So this is the first one. I guess I should share my screen. Let's hope this screen sharing thing works, because I tried it just a moment ago. I had to switch laptops tonight, guys. I had a technical problem with my really good laptop. So I'm on my old laptop that's basically on its last legs. So we're going to see how this goes. So this is June 25th of 2022. Either as he's traveling to Washington State, or maybe he's already arrived. And maybe this is just like a new phone or what have you, but he's just taking a selfie. I don't know if I don't really take selfies like this. Like me, I could look on my phone and find, like, I don't take a lot of selfies. Sometimes I'll take a selfie to check my makeup or to check my hair. Or if I get my hair done, I'll take one and I'll post it on Instagram, or I'll shoot it to like somebody, like, hey, like, what do you think of my new hair? You know, my hair color or whatever. Yeah, I color my hair. But you know, I don't take a whole lot of selfies. And if I do take a selfie, like sometimes I'll just snap a picture and put it up on Instagram, and then I delete it or something. I don't really save a bunch of selfies. So here we are on June 25th. Just a picture of a guy. And then, of course, something's whacking out with my computer. Then we move on. Now we've got another June 25th. And I'm like, is this like an accidental picture? This almost looks like he's talking to somebody and he's got his phone in his hand and takes it by accident. It's just weird, right? This is obviously an intentional car selfie. Just looks like a guy to me. I mean, yeah, knowing what we know now, maybe it feels a little weird just because of what we know, but just looks like a guy in a car. I guess he's in his Elantra. And this could be like on his way to Washington State. I don't know. But he's just, there he is with the eyebrows, obviously, the big eyebrows that we've heard so much about. So still June 25th. There we are in front of some water. Just a selfie in front of the water. No big deal, right? Looks like there's some mountains out in the back. I mean, I'm trying to figure out where this could have been. I don't really know. I'm not going to act like I'm the queen of geography. I'm not. But there was also some talk about him possibly, there's something about being in Montana or something like that, and that he arrives in Washington State in late June, early July. I think it was more like late June that he really arrived in Washington State. Here's another one in front of some water and some mountains. And another one. Got another car selfie. Looks a little sunburnt on the nose. This is like, I'm like, what are you doing? Just like, I don't know, just checking yourself out. I mean, he's quite obsessed with himself. And this is like another part of this whole thing. I think Bryan Kohberger lived in a fantasy world. He lived in his own head. And so maybe he's just documenting his journey to Washington and on his way to becoming whatever he thinks he's going to become. June 30th, rather. This looks like a restaurant of some sort, hanging out. Did somebody take this, or did he set the timer? I don't know. But Is this the beginning of, his journey of becoming Professor Kohberger? So here now we're definitely into the bathroom. This definitely looks like this is July 7th. So his lease probably started at the apartment at the Steptoe Village. And we've got the bathroom. And we know why this will become significant later. We've got the shower curtain back there. We know that when they did the search warrant, the shower curtain was gone, of course, but they said he changed his shower curtain often because of fears of mold and things of that nature. So we've got a bathroom selfie and another bathroom selfie. Is he just checking himself out, trying to see like, hey, I'm looking pretty good in my new apartment? But yes, this seems like kind of weird. Another photo. This, like, when I look at the background of this photo, this to me looks kind of like from the drive. I recall like the drive from Moscow to Pullman and back. There are a lot of kind of like green rolling hills, like farmland type stuff. That's what that looks like to me back there. See all that? That kind of almost looks like the drive, like the kind of big hills and stuff you would see on that road that goes from Pullman to Moscow, pardon me, where the airport is located. He's doing some hiking, I guess. Thumbs up. He really likes the thumbs up. Why, I don't know. A little more hiking. I guess maybe just checking out his new area, new life. 7/7 again, July 7th. Another car selfie. This is the 8th. This is obviously some kind of accidental thing. I keep getting something whacking out on here. This is the 8th of July. He's in front of a, school mascot at Washington State University. Maybe he looks a little sweaty, might have been out for a run, could have been hot that night, just hanging out. But, it's middle of July in Washington. Another one. We know he hung out late at night a lot, running, mostly running, I believe. Here's another thing. When they did the search warrant in his apartment, they found some notebook papers with letters on them and stuff like that. I don't know what these letters mean. Looks like 7KGR57. I have no clue what that means. And here's another one. FKGR57. FKGR57. I'm not sure what the significance of that is, but could it be FKGR, like, the F word, great, 57? I don't know, and I don't know what that would mean. And we've got another one. But this is likely inside the apartment in Pullman. Now we've got Bryan Kohberger, 0711, 2022, GUXT8L. I'm like, is that a license plate number? I just don't remember. I don't know, but this is the 11th of July, 2022. It's like, what is this? Like a proof of life selfie. I don't understand the significance. Only he does. We've got more stuff outside. Out by a pine tree of some sort or some type of tree. We've got Kohberger checking out it appears to be checking out a pair of jeans and possibly his rear end on July 19th. I don't know if he's trying to maybe he's trying to like look good, trying to make himself look good for somebody. I don't know. But these are obviously a new pair of jeans. It's got a price tag on it. It looks like, I can't tell the brand, but he's got a price tag and he's checking out how he looks in the jeans. I guess guys do that too. I don't know if guys do that a lot, but I know girls do that a lot. Women. but he's checking himself out. And then whatever this is, like taking a picture of himself again. I'm going to look at your comments to see what you guys are saying, what you think of this. I thought they looked like Levi's too, Ida. Somebody is saying, oh my God, this is humiliation. I mean, I don't know. Is it? I mean, he's admitted to killing 4 people. So, I mean, this would have been evidence in the trial, likely, potentially, possibly. We know at least a couple of these would have been evidence in the trial. But he's definitely interested in how his rear end looks in these jeans. And I don't know. I don't know if that's something men worry about a lot. I think I should ask guys, all the men in the chat, do you guys worry about how your rear end looks in your jeans? Maybe this is why, because it looks like he's wearing the same shirt. Actually, let's go back. That's the 19th, actually, but he's wearing the same shirt. That's July 19th. Then we skip ahead, and here's August 8th. There's a gap in the selfies. Now, these are just the ones that have been released to the public. We don't know if he was possibly, and we know he was hanging out with at least one other person, the one classmate. He did apparently interact with some people. So maybe there are photos with other people that we just don't know about that they haven't released because they're like, you know what? We're not going to put those people on blast and release stuff like that. Why would we do that? These people had no clue what this guy was up to or what he was doing, but we know he liked baseball. He told the cops that he was a big Yankees fan, but this is some type of, I guess, Washington area baseball team or game. So he's at the baseball game. Whether he was there by himself or not, I don't know. But he's got a teeth showing smile there. Oh, I just noticed something. Look at that. There's a pretty blonde girl in the background. Do you guys notice that? So we have an attractive blonde woman in the background. I'm thinking maybe that is why. This is what he was doing. Look at that. Let's back up a couple of photos. He was looking, he might have been taking the picture of himself, the selfie. I think what he was actually doing is taking a picture of this woman, this young lady. Or acting like he was taking a picture and staring at her so he wouldn't be caught staring at her. That's really what was going on there. All right, let's go back because I think I missed that the first time I looked through these. So he's looking into the camera, it looks like. But this blonde woman, and I'm trying to figure out what she's doing. Like, she's obviously working at the game in some capacity. But that's what he's doing. He's looking at that blonde woman. And he's making it look like he's taking selfies. But he's looking at that woman, and she's beautiful. I mean, from what we can tell, she's a beautiful blonde woman, young woman. And maybe she's like a reporter working the game, like for the university or something. I don't really know, but that's what he's doing. He's taking a picture of this girl and acting like he's taking a selfie, and he's like casing her. And look at her. Look familiar at all? That's like the same kind of profile. If we think about victimology, that's Maddie. That's Kaylee. Oh, somebody's saying they collect the foul balls. So that's what you think she was doing? I thought they got kids to do that. So he is staking this girl out. That's what he was doing. This one, shouldn't call her a girl. She's a young woman. Sorry. I just call everybody a girl, a guy, a boy. That's just what I do. But this young woman, he's casing her. That poor woman. Let's just let her, thank God she's okay. I'm wondering if the other gaps in the selfies too is because maybe he was probably taking pictures of women. And we know he had like screen grabs or photos on his phone of co-eds and stuff like that. Were those off of social media, or was he taking those? Was he out and about taking photos of the young women? I don't know. So the next day, August 9th, he's at some type of, looks like the state capitol of some sort. Probably try to figure out where that is. Getting to know his new home. Now we're at a mountain of some sort. Open tooth smile. Doing a little hiking. Another mountain selfie thing. Thumbs up. He's a big fan of the thumbs up. But look at that. He's got to be pretty high up in August to be around snow. So that's really something. So he was up there. I haven't seen any pictures of stars or the moon. Just to be clear, I have not seen one picture of him out with the stars, gazing at the stars or whatever. That's some cool mountain, kind of a cool mountain photo. So this is a guy that spends a lot of time by himself, it appears. I mean, I think we already knew that. August 10th, he's hiking up the mountain. Looks like he's trying to do like a modeling photo or something. I don't know. Maybe he's, we can't really, we can get into this guy's head a little bit, but we can't get in there too far. There's another pic. Did he send this to mother and father? We don't know. Just don't know. Looking a little pensive there. Another pic. So he's really enjoying his time. Here's an evening type photo. Let's see what this finds. Or what this says. Sorry. Of the something slots and weighted. I don't know what that says, but I'm sure that's some sort of I don't know. Maybe this is what they consider stargazing. Remember the stargazing alibi? Remember they said there were pictures on his phone that showed that? If this is what Ann Taylor was talking about, this was not going to fly. This was not going to do it. This is like sunset, dusk, whatever. Sun's in the background. That is not late night stargazing. I mean, if this was her, if this is what she was going to be talking about, no. No. All right. So now we're at it looks like some sort of restaurant, I think. I believe that's what this is. August 10th. August 14th, we're back out hiking. And then in August 15th, in the bathroom, it looks like after a workout of sorts, maybe a run. Got a towel there. The bathtub to me there doesn't look that clean, but let me tell you, look, I'm telling you, in the photos from the search warrant, that bathroom, the tile looked so clean. I was shocked by it. Like it was so, the tile seemed so pristinely white. And maybe this is just a lighting thing. This does not look as white. And maybe it's just my computer screen or something. But that tile doesn't look as clean here. And it could be a lighting thing as it did when they did the search warrant. And of course, there's the shower curtain right there. Okay, so now we're shopping on August 16th. Trying on a shirt somewhere. This looks like, we know he shopped at Marshall's. This could definitely be like a Marshall's. I don't know. Maybe it's Walmart. I'm not really sure. But he's checking out the outfit. And we got some kind of weird selfie thing going on. Now we've got another, I don't know what. Some kind of, I don't know if he's documenting something about his appearance. I don't know what. August 17th, 2022. OHZBX4. I don't know if he's planning to come to Ohio or what. Now we're at September 7th. Just a side profile selfie. More selfies. Still has the shower curtain. We don't know if he's changed it by that point because they said he changed the shower curtain often. But that looks definitely like the same shower curtain with the same wrinkles and creases in it. Taking pictures of the back of his head. I don't know if he's like, looks like he's maybe gotten a haircut, some hairs on his ears. Maybe he's trying to trim his ear hair and seeing if he's getting it all. I don't know if he's cutting his own hair and that's what this is all about, but he's got some weird gaps in the haircut. He obviously likes a tight, like a closer cut haircut. But there's a bunch of pictures like this. I'm kind of wondering if he was giving himself haircuts and that's why he was doing this. Like, and then this is so weird. I don't get that at all. This would have been the left hand. Like what he's doing there is, but his hand looks so weird and red. It's creepy. It almost looks like it looks like it's like been deformed. Like I'm like, what in the world? It's like red, and I'm like, what is going on? Look at that. Like, what on earth? That looks really weird. Like, why would you do something like that? Is he practicing a grip on something? Like practicing some type, like what on earth? And look how red, unless that's a sunburn. Is that maybe it's a sunburn. Maybe that's what this is. Like, what on earth would that be? But it looks horrendous, whatever it is. More head pictures. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Psychosaurus Rex. Oh, I'm glad you're in the house. We have a psychologist type in here. I think he's trying to do the Arthur Fist meme. Maybe. IKMI girl says OCD washing hands. Right, but they're so red. So red. It's like creeping. I mean, everything about this creeps me out. More tight hair pictures. This is no. Okay, guys. Let's go back to the hand grip. That's October 17th, right? October 17th. Now we jump ahead to November 8th. This is 5 days before the homicides. Taking pictures of his head again. Back of his head. Why? We don't know. Maybe seeing if the hair grew back from maybe he cut it too close. I'm thinking maybe he cuts his own hair and maybe he cut it too close. Oh, this is weird. This jumps to July 20th. I thought these were all in order. Now it's jumping to September 25th. Just a weird selfie. Here's October 23rd. A few weeks before the homicides. All right. So these are all of the photos from before the homicides. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Psychosaurus Rex says at his age, I doubt he would just suddenly develop true OCD. I would agree with you. Just from studying this stuff, I would really, really doubt that. So now we're going to move on to the post-homicide selfies. This is where it gets like even weirder. Like, and some of those, some of those other ones are like just like normal, right? I don't think some of those I don't think are like too weird or bizarre. Yeah, there's a little weird, but this is where it gets a little weird. Actually, there's oh, I apologize. No, here we go. So this, of course, we all know what this is. This is a higher resolution photo of the selfie from before 10:30, a little before 10:30 in the morning on the morning of the homicides. His hands are incredibly red. This is his left hand. He's smiling, giving himself the thumbs up. We know this is just 6 hours after he's slaughtered 4 college kids, Maddie, Kaylee, Xana, and Ethan. Slaughtered them. He's got this dress shirt on. His hands are so red, like incredibly red, probably from washing and scrubbing. And he's got a Band-Aid on his ring finger. So did he suffer some type of cutting injury? Entirely possible during the homicides as he was committing them. But he's obviously very proud of himself. Prophet 1022 says this first post-murder pic is the first time he has a sincere limbic smile, one that reaches his eyes. Melissa, yes, this was after he called mother, but I think we need to be very careful. I think we need to be very careful about reading too much into the calls to mother and father. And I say this because that's what he did every day. That's how he started his day and ended his nights. This was typical for him. So the calls to mother and father to me are not incredibly significant because that's something he did all the time. So I don't think we need to get all like crazy about that. Shelley Malone is saying that his hand is swollen, and it very well could be. But that's also his left hand. So we don't know if he's left hand dominant or right hand dominant. I assume we do have that one photo of him writing at DeSales. Now I'm trying to remember. I guess maybe he was left-handed. I don't know. I have to go back. There's that one where he's like writing, but I thought he was right-handed. I don't recall. But he kind of writes like this, the way he holds his pencil. But yeah, disgusting. This is disgusting. So our next photo is on November 25th, many days later. Weird selfies. This is December 2nd. Remember, at this point, they haven't publicly released the information about the Elantra. But we don't know him. We know nothing about him other than life was falling apart for him at WSU. He was getting ready to go home for the holidays. And he's taking selfies of himself staring into the mirror. I mean, there's nothing behind those eyes. There's nothing there. He's cold as ice. Look at that. Same thing there. I mean, there is nothing behind those eyes. Shower curtain is still there. No idea what he's doing. Is he modeling his new jacket? No clue. And there he is. It's like he's looking at this new jacket or something. He's very obsessed with himself. Okay, now here's where it gets really weird. So this is the same date, December 2nd. I guess he decides if this is the time of day, 1937:53, that would have been 7:37 and 53 seconds that this was taken. I guess he decides maybe I think I look, he's so ridiculous. I think I look pretty good, but let's take off the clothes and see how I look then. Is that what this is? Now he decides this is hours later at 22:27:13. That's 10:27:13 in 13 seconds. He's taking some kind of creepy group of photos of himself where appears to be kind of celebrating himself. There's that weird, guys, look, there's that, remember the left hand? There was a Band-Aid. There's a big, pretty good sized thing there on his knuckle. Like whatever that is. Like that would have to be, let's do some math there. 19 days later. So maybe that was a pretty significant gash. But his hands again are very red, probably from the scrubbing. And he's admiring himself and saluting himself. Like, I don't know what he's saluting or thinks he's saluting, but then on the 5th, and this is creepy to me because I traveled to Moscow on the 5th of December. That would have been 3:06 p.m. I just kind of think to myself, this is like when I'm arriving in Moscow and this guy is in his apartment in Pullman. The cops are trying to figure out what the heck is going on and who this suspect is. And this guy's sitting there giving himself a thumbs up in the bathroom. And look how red his hands are again. Is he just scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing? Like thinking he's scrubbing away what he did. I don't think he cared about what he did. I think he enjoyed what he did. But he's obviously doing something, scrubbing the daylights out of his hands because they're so red and inflamed. Now he's got his WSU black hoodie on. This whole thing with the teeth, I don't get. Weird dude. Maybe just making some weird faces. This is on the 9th, December 9th, 11:07 p.m. Maybe he just thinks, I don't know what he thinks. I have no clue, but this is, maybe he's watching something on TV and celebrating himself. Could be watching something regarding the case, for all we know, on YouTube, on his TV, in his apartment, and laughing or celebrating himself. This would have been, now that I think about it, let's go back to December. So this is December 5th. By this time, they would have released the bolo publicly. December 7th, they released the information about the white Hyundai Elantra. So this is on the 9th. And he's taking all these weirdo photos of himself. So is he watching something? I'm envisioning this because this looks like he's watching TV. Is he like laughing at something he's watching on TV regarding the case, some other killer? I don't know. Now he's got December 10th, black hoodie on again. Checking out his forehead. What this is all about, God only knows. Only he knows. This is December 12th at 11:38 p.m. I'm like thinking to myself, dude, you murdered 4 people. Your description of your car is out there and you're taking all these creepy selfies of yourself. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? This December 16th, I'm assuming, is when he's driving back to Pennsylvania with father, or this might even be when he's already back in Pennsylvania. But he's taking a selfie of himself. I'm like, you would have been stopped by the cops already. More selfies. This is 3 days before the cops in Moscow get his name from the FBI. Was he out at this point in time? This is December 16th at 6:47 in the morning. Was he out driving around stalking women? Or what? Or were they just indeed on their way back? Was he with father? I don't know. I don't know if he's with father in the car taking selfies of himself. Or is he out looking for his next victim in Pennsylvania? This is the 18th of December, the day before the FBI gives the name to Moscow PD. 1:46 in the morning. Thumbs up. Maybe this is he's thinking he's home free. He's back in Pennsylvania. They're never going to find me. Another thumbs up. In the bathroom. He's a big fan of these bathroom selfies. This whole thing, I don't know. I don't pretend to understand this person. I just offer my thoughts and analysis. This is December 19th. This is at 2:42 in the morning. Later that day, Moscow PD gets his name. He's there with his dog. Remember, he was very concerned about mother and father and the dog after his arrest. This is at 3:23 in the morning. He's looks like he's down in the basement of his parents' home. I don't know, the black beanie. He had bought a Dickies beanie. This is an Under Armour beanie. Maybe he's going out for a run, but again, black clothing. This is December 21st at 4:27 in the morning. WSU black hoodie. The black beanie again. Maybe this is a jogging outfit. Seems kind of unsafe to do that, to jog in the dark in black, but I don't know. But he had been seen, remember, walking around late at night outside the neighborhood by the feds. I don't know if they saw him on this date, but they had seen him. And there he is with this black beanie and the black hoodie. And then December 23rd, 5:37 in the morning. 5:37 in the morning. I'm usually, if I'm up at 5:37 in the morning, I'm like, I mean, I wish I was one of these people who's up at 5 a.m. like rocking the world, but I'm not. But here he is with another shirtless photo shoot. And I mean, appears to have some like acne or something on his chest. And then the red hands again. My God, these red hands are like freaking me out. And the red arm, like there's got to be something going on with that. The arm is red and the hand, and I don't get it, but there's something going on there. And look, there he is again with that red fist. I don't get it. And look, he does have, it seems to me that would be a very long time. This is December 23rd. That's over a month after the homicides, from still to have these. I mean, maybe that's from scrubbing his hands. Maybe he's why he's got these, what look like wounds or whatever. And then looks like these might be kind of like jogging pants. We used to call them slimies when I was in high school and I ran track. I was not very good at running track. I was do sprints and stuff, but I was not good at like doing all that running. And I don't know. I really wish I had been like a really good runner. I got better at it, but I was not like a natural born runner. More like with the acne or whatever. And then the red, I mean, he's flexing. Like, I don't get it. Looks like he's got garbage. Look at that. There's garbage hanging on it looks like a bag of garbage hanging on the door. There's like a Brita water pitcher in the background, a blender. This is the kitchen going out, I guess, to the back door. Looks like some bottled water, but yeah, that's a bag of garbage. I mean, is he bagging up his garbage to take it outside? Weird. This is at 5:38 in the morning, December 23rd, 2 days before Christmas. This is 6:49 p.m. on December 24th. Taking a picture of himself going somewhere. 6:49 again. I mean, maybe, I know his mother, I'm pretty sure his mother was kind of religious. Maybe they're going to mass. He's apparently a Catholic, according to his classmates at WSU. And here we go. This is Christmas Day, just after midnight on Christmas. 12:02. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I think this should be around 12:02 a.m. or so. Another bathroom selfie. Selfie of it watching TV, it looks like. This is 2 days after Christmas, December 27th. Again, looking at his forehead. It's 1:49 a.m. on December 27th. And then doing some type of pose. This is December 28th. This is going to be like literally a day and a half before he's arrested. This is at almost 6 p.m. on December 28th. And then, December 29th. This is at 1:09 a.m. It's kind of is that picture that's kind of creepy. That makes you think of the guy that was walking through the house with the mask on, with the balaclava, I guess. And there's going to be people there. I know already there are going to be people who say, I know there are people still out there saying he didn't do this. He admitted to it in open court. His attorney stood next to him while he admitted to doing this. Her whole goal the whole time was to get the death penalty stricken. She was just trying to get the death penalty stricken to save his life. I don't know why people are having such a hard time understanding that. That was the end goal. And these are from video captures. So he was obviously taking videos of himself. We just don't know what he said. And this is, these are from November. So these were late November. They're out of order. Sorry, guys. But this is the last photo we know of. 1:10 a.m. on December 29th before his arrest. And then, according to the other information we have in this file, he started getting really paranoid. Started searching on December 29th, paranoid, psychopath, started looking for car detailing places, all kinds of stuff. Like the 29th was not a good day for him. He was getting very paranoid. Whether or not he thought he was being surveilled, I don't know. But that's what he was up to. These are his screen grabs, the cached screen grabs. I'm going to look over in the comments real quick to see what you guys are saying. DE says, I feel like he looked paranoid in the pics on the way to PA too. Yeah, quite possibly. So here he is. He's watching American Psycho YouTube videos. Cleaning Time, A Night to Dismember. Something from GMA about the homicides. Another video about the homicides. Ed Kemper body language. The Idaho murders case going cold. Ted Bundy, serial killer. Nancy Grace. Ted Bundy, the 70s teen killer. Another Ted Bundy show. Mark of a Killer. BTK, Confessions of a Serial Killer. More Ted Bundy. Top 10 facts about Jeffrey Dahmer. He was really into Ted Bundy. Was Ted Bundy actually special? Serial killers with the something. I can't see what that says, but that's Ted Kaczynski. The obsession with Ted Bundy. Ted. Now here, this is where that hoodie comes in. I think he was probably dressing up like this guy on the thumbnail of the Ted Bundy thing. That's not, I mean, it's kind of Ted Bundy. That's his face right there. But Ted Bundy, I don't think ran around in hoodies. I don't think he was known for that. More American Psycho. That was his favorite movie, according to somebody at Washington State University. Ted's Messy End in Florida. The obsession with Ted Bundy. Ed the co-ed killer. That's Ed Kemper. Ted Bundy's most famous victim. A video with the K-bar knife, sheath, and knife there. Ted Bundy, a video where the quote is, "It was fun." More Ted Bundy. The perfect killing machine, Ted Bundy. The Start. Something, I don't know who that is. More Ted. The Campus Killer, Ted Bundy. Ed's Messy Beginnings. Here's one, killer laughing. Homicide investigation update. He was also saving the press releases from the information I was given by Celebrate. And then here, I'll show this to you. I'm going to put the link to the Crime Fix episode I did on this, where I kind of spliced in pieces of the interview I did with the Barnharts as well. But here is the, this is what they found from the Mad Greek on his phone. This is a Google Maps review of the Mad Greek. And this is where they found, you know, this is the only information they found about the Mad Greek on his phone. Extraordinary experience, blank, our waitress. We don't know what this says. This is all redacted. That's kind of interesting. Blank, our waitress, was exceptional and took fabulous care of us. I have to think that if it was one of the victims, it would not be redacted. She was working alone the evening we stopped in, and she did an excellent job taking care of everyone. Impressive. We felt right at home. All the food was mouthwatering and delicious. We ordered the Greta Greek salad with chicken and the pita and dip sampler plate. 10 out of 10 would recommend. So this is a Google Maps review. We don't know what all of this redacted stuff says. But you have to think, if it had one of the victims' names on it, would not be redacted. So it may have somebody who was actually still living on there. And this is just the serial killer lists that he searched. Ed Kemper, Joseph Callinger, BTK, Pee Wee Gaskins, and that all started on Christmas night into early Christmas, the morning after Christmas. So guys, there you have it. We could probably talk more about this another time. I wanted to bring somebody on to kind of analyze these with me. Britt Black says, did he write the review? No, he did not. I wanted to bring somebody on to analyze these with me, but that just wasn't going to happen tonight. But I really appreciate you guys all coming on. I do want to acknowledge the super chats. Ether Bunny, thank you for the super chat. A psychopath has to practice looks of emotion. Maybe that part of making faces. I have no idea. But you are right. I have heard that they do have to kind of practice because they can't feel emotion or don't feel emotion. You're right about that. And maybe that's what he was doing. Here we go. Hella. Oh, or he's just stuffing around with his phone like everyone does. Maybe. Very, very possible. But obviously some of those were very much posed. I'm going back up to the top, guys. I wanted to make sure that I touched on everybody's stuff. Ted Bundy is back in the chat, which is kind of wild and weird, but you know how that goes. Anjanette doesn't look a day past 30. Love the show. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You're very kind to say that because I feel very much over 30 today because I'm very tired. Guys, it's been a really long week, 2 weeks, I should say. Plus, I'm having a little bit of an issue. I haven't even told you about that. Having a little bit of an issue. I'm not sure I should go into it. Got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, but I've had an issue with my hand, my thumb, and my arm all week. But, got an MRI, getting the results tomorrow. That's all I'll say. Lindsay Fishlong, thank you for the super sticker, super chat. Thank you. Riri 911, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. She says, thank you for sharing. It's devastating. This is devastating. That's horrible. It's horrible. It really does. It really is horrible. So, there you have it, guys. I don't know what else to say, but The guy was obsessed with himself and living in his own head, living in his own fantasy world. Hellas asks, do we know of any other cases where convicts' phone data has been released outside of discovery material? Well, I don't know about that, but I do know that in a lot of cases, once a case is closed, you can request the file. You can request stuff and get it. So the Barnharts were going to be testifying at the trial. So they were allowed to release these things. That was going to be part of their testimony, or at least, Celebrate was going to. Typically, I mean, the stuff I've encountered in this case with records has been unlike really a lot of other places I've ever encountered, because typically when a case is closed, you can just be like, hey, give me everything, or give me this, give me that. And we've had to go all over the country chasing all over the place, and it's been a little bit silly, but there you go. But guys, I really appreciate you watching. I'm looking through here. Yeah, the thumbs up could be irrelevant, or he could just been celebrating himself, but he did a lot of the thumbs up. I think the more important thing is just the red hands. Obviously, he's somebody who was washing his hands quite a bit. And the Band-Aid. The Band-Aid could have been relevant had we known what the wound was from on his finger, if it was covering up a big gash. But we did see, even a month later, there was some kind of strange, kind of a weird marking on that one finger. And, who knows what that was from. Could have just been from too much hand washing. So guys, I really appreciate you tuning in. And it's been great talking with you again. Keeping an eye on the Charlie Kirk assassination, seeing what comes of that. And we will keep in touch. Again, thank you for watching. If you're watching on replay, let me know in the chat. Please let me know where you've been watching from. Give me that thumbs up, like, and subscribe. And I'm thinking about doing something on here on Saturday night. We'll see about tomorrow night. I'm not really sure yet. But I'll try to keep you as up to date as I can on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Also, I'm going to try to get that CrimeCon video out. At CrimeCon, I interviewed both Stacy Chapin and Kristen Middleman. I did post that to my post wall or whatever on YouTube. And so I spoke with them about kind of this new friendship they've developed since the gag order was lifted, and about the genetic genealogy, and spoke with Stacy Chapin about Ethan. So yeah, I went to their session at CrimeCon. It was, really sad and really powerful. So thank you again, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned. I will be back soon. Have a good evening. Hug your loved ones, and treat each other well. And thank you to the mods. Thanks to the mods, Monty, Mo, Webby, Melmac. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.